Can someone answer? How
Very
are you?
fine, Father.
No, very
Very fine, Father.
fine. Now, when I ask this question, how are you? All of you probably would have thought of an answer in your mind. You don't have to tell me what it is. But generally, when we ask, how are you? We just say, yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing well. Now, when you say, I'm doing well, from which perspective you say? From which perspective you answer? Yes, I'm doing well. I'm fine. I'm all right. I'm doing wonderfully well. So, from which perspective you say, I'm doing well? Do we answer from the spiritual perspective, from that point of view, from that spiritual wellness, or from the physical health or physical wellness? Do we answer from that point of view? Normally, when we come across people and when we ask this question, how are you? They say, yes, I'm fine. Last week I was a bit sick, but now I'm fine. I'm all right. So, which means we always refer to our physical health. That when we say I'm doing well, that wellness comprises everything: the spiritual wellness, the emotional wellness, the social wellness or social health or social well being that we are talking about today. It comprises everything. I cannot just be physically healthy. I'm down in spiritual wellness, I'm down in social wellness, and I'm here doing well. No, that cannot be possible. That's not possible at all. So when I say I'm doing well, so what I want to say is I'm spiritually I'm doing well, emotionally I'm doing well, physically I'm doing well, intellectually I'm doing well, socially I'm doing well, occupationally I'm doing well. So I'm doing well in everything. That's how the answer has to be. And I'm very happy that you have taken a very wonderful approach, the holistic approach. Your focus is not just on only the mental health, or it's not just on the physical health, or not just on the social wellness. It's on the entire thing. You know, you have your approach is a holistic approach. I'm very happy about it. To start with, we have to fall back to Abraham Maslow, the needs. So according to Abraham Maslow, we start with the physiological need, the very, very basic thing like air, water, we need food, we need sleep. So we need air, all these to sustain our life. We need to exist first in this world. Before we achieve something in the future, before we connect with people, before we buy things, before we reach self actualization, what we need is the life, the very basic thing. So once this very basic need is met with physiological needs, you are well aware of it. Once this is met with, then we move on to the next step, where we move on to the next need. We want to safeguard ourselves. Physically and emotionally, we want to safeguard ourselves, the safety needs. I need a hut, or I need a small house. I need some vehicle to move around. I need a bicycle, or I need a small car. Or if I have more money, then I can go for something else. So once the physiological needs are met with, then we move on to the safety needs. And once the safety needs are met with, then we move on to the social need, to connect with people, to be friendly with people, to belong to a group, to be friendly with someone, to give love and to receive love, to belong to the community, to belong to my group, my community, my college, or my place, wherever I am, and to develop the friendship. So all these needs will pop up once the physiological needs are met, and then the safety needs are met. Now, if I don't have anything to eat, if I don't have a shelter to live, I may not be going around to look for friendship. I may not be just going around to give love and to receive love. Now, what I want basically is food. I want to exist in this world. I want water. I want pure air. I need something to eat so that I can sustain my life. So that's a very, very basic thing. So, to reach this self actualization, what we need is the physiological need. Yes, that has to be met with. And then comes the safety need. And then comes the social need, where we give love, we receive love, we want to be a part of the group, and we want to enjoy friendship. So, to reach this self actualization, we need the social needs to be met with. That's a very, very basic thing without which we cannot move further. So we move from society to self-actualization. The society helps me, helps you to reach the self-actualization. Now, we are not like Tarzan. Tarzan, you know the story of Tarzan, which was written in 1912, where Tarzan goes to the African jungle, and then the ape um takes the small child, and then he brings up. We are not like Tarzan, living in the jungle, living in the forest. We are living in the society, and only the society helps me to reach that self-actualization. So, to reach the self-actualization, what we need is the social wellness or social health or social well-being, or we need the society as such, without which I cannot move further. And we also have to think of Bill Hetler, who talks about the wellness wheel. There are 6 dimensions of wellness. We have to, integrate everything for our growth. The very basic question, how are you? When we ask how are you, the immediate response is I'm doing well. When I say I'm doing well, that has to comprise everything. Bill Hetler has given 6 dimensions of wellness. There is the physical wellness, social wellness, intellectual wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional, and then occupational wellness. We cannot compartmentalize this wellness and then say, yeah, I just want to focus on only the physical wellness and intellectual wellness. I don't want to worry about other things. That's not possible at all. That's impossible. In case if something happens like that, then we'll be drawn into some kind of mental illness, or we'll be drawn into some kind of sickness. Yeah, I just want to focus only on spiritual wellness. It's fine. But without the physical wellness, I cannot focus on spiritual wellness. I need to be healthy. I need to socially relate with people, without which I cannot be a spiritual person. Now I cannot be emotionally feeling well without the social interaction, without the physical wellness. So, according to Bill Hetler, all these 6 dimensions have to be paid attention. We cannot just focus on only one particular wellness alone. So, to be socially well, to have that social health, we need to have all those things. Physical wellness we need, intellectual wellness we need, and then occupational wellness, emotional wellness, and spiritual wellness. And this wellness is an active process. Nothing can be offered to you. Nothing is going to be given at your hand. It's not just going to be put on your lap. You work hard to appropriate that wellness. Now, take for an example the intellectual wellness. You're not going to acquire all the knowledge just by sitting down and meditating. You take the book, you go to the school, you go to the college, you do your research, you read things, you listen to people, you read number of books, and then you acquire knowledge. So, which means you take an effort to appropriate that knowledge. Social wellness, I cannot just sit down and then I cannot expect everyone to come and talk to me, to love me, to care for me, to be friendly with me. It's not possible. I need to take effort to get along with people, to move to people. I need to sacrifice few things. There must be some kind of reciprocity where there's some give and take policy. I need to sacrifice few things in family life, and then the other person gives, the partner gives. That's how the life works. That's how we will be able to achieve wellness. And emotional wellness, yeah. When I get sick, I approach someone, I share with them, I go for counseling, I undergo some therapies so that I'm able to achieve that emotional wellness. So it is an active process. According to Bill Hetler, wellness is an active process. You cannot just simply sit down and then acquire all that you are looking for. You make an effort to appropriate that particular wellness. Occupational wellness, I will just sit down and then somebody has to offer the letter to me to come and join in the office. That's not possible. That's not going to happen. We're not going to do any magic here. I study well, and I just look for a job and finally get the job. I go around searching for the job and finally get the job. So social wellness, or any wellness for that matter, it is an active process. I need to do something. I need to offer something. I need to contribute something. I need to make an effort to appropriate it. It's not just given given to me, or it's not just offered there in my hand. I take some efforts to appropriate, and then this wellness helps me to live a more successful and meaningful existence, according to Bill Hetler. So I work for that wellness, and that in turn gives me a successful existence and a meaningful existence also. As I told you in the beginning, this wellness, these dimensions, they are interactive. They are not compartmentalized. We cannot say this one is alone. Occupational wellness is existing here in this corner, and then physical wellness is existing in this corner, and then social wellness is existing in this corner, and they don't interact. No, they are always interacting with each other, influencing each other, and they are also able to contribute to each other and finally bring balance. That's how we are able to have the overall wellness. So we cannot think of one single wellness, and we cannot just focus on these areas. At least we need to achieve the optimal wellness in all these areas to achieve the overall wellness. Later, after Bill Hetler, many people came together, and they have added financial wellness as well as the environmental wellness. But actually, Bill Hetler in 1976 brought up only six dimensions of wellness. Later, these two dimensions were added. So, to achieve self-actualization, or to feel well, whether it's physically or socially or psychologically, we need to interact with people. We have to get along with people. We need to love and receive love and then give love. Now, coming to this social well-being, how it is defined. Now, social well-being would mean developing and maintaining positive interaction with people around us in the community or in the college or in the working place or in the family, wherever you want. So you develop and then maintain. Actually, developing the friendship or developing the interaction.
Arul, Xavier,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Your slides are not moving. It's just the it's just the opening slide is there. Yeah.
How do I do that? I do the presentation at the beginning. Now, can you see? Is it moving?
No, no. It is just the opening slide.
Please hold on.
You can click one slide after another, maybe.
Yeah, I'll just see. Now, can you see?
Oh, no, it's
No
not
further,
moving.
no further.
It's not moving.
No.
Can somebody help now how to do that?
If you want, we can present the slide.
Okay, fine. I think that will be fine. Okay, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Assistant Professor Nandakumar, can you present the slide?
Professor Nandakumar, can you help me to share? You are giving the directions. So first I open. Hello. Yeah. Open picture in picture. Picture in picture. Okay. Okay. Then I go to. Okay. The entire screen. Okay. Fine. Okay. Then I go to from the beginning. Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I think now the screen is visible. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Fine. Thank you. So I was talking about the wellness wheel of Bill Hetler, Dr. Bill Hetler, which he introduced in 1976. And now people have added more to that. 6 dimensions. Now we have mental wellness. Now, how do we define social well-being? This is a very general definition. Developing and maintaining positive interactions. Actually, developing a relationship is very easy, but maintaining or sustaining that relationship is very, very difficult. Probably you must have come across when you went for some meeting, for some seminar, you picked up some friends, and then that things will disappear. Now, the right example would be WhatsApp group. Now, when we come together, we create that WhatsApp group. For some time, people are very, very active. After some time, one or two people are active, and then after some time, everybody's just leaving one by one. Whereas in social well-being, we develop that friendship and then we sustain it and we maintain that positive interaction with the people around us in the community or in the family, wherever we are. When we talk about the physical health, we think of body. When we talk about the mental health, we think about mind. When we talk about the social well-being or social wellness or social health, is everything defines the same thing. So whether it's social wellness or social well-being or social health, it relates to the relationship basically. How do we relate with people? How do we offer love? How do we receive love? How do we interact with them? How do we move along with them? How do we belong to them? Or do we really feel that we belong to that particular group or part of that family, part of that society? So it talks more about it. So if a person is able to make positive relationship, we say the person is having that social well-being. He or she is able to make the positive relationship with people. And he or she is able to acquire the ability to adapt in different social situations. Because we're not going to exist only in one place. I move from here to another place where the situation may be completely different. The people are different. The culture is different. The language is different. And the way they were brought up is different. The geography is different. The culture is different. So things can keep changing. So if I have the social well-being, first I'm able to create that positive relationship, and then I'm able to make some kind of adaptation when I go to different place or when I come across people around me. And I'm able to appropriately act as per the situation concerned. Wherever there is a need, when I'm in a different culture, okay, I see the need, I get along with people, and then I do whatever is appropriate. I cannot be just holding on to my own culture and say, this is how I would behave, this is how I do things. I'm in a different place, I'm in a different culture. And therefore, I have to speak the language of that people. I have to speak the language of that people to get connected with them. Now, when we approach the kids, when we go to the schools or when you visit the kindergarten, when you come across the kids, you're not going to use any jargons to explain things to the kids. You're going to use the language and the ancient, and you're going to use the language of the kids so that they can understand. So, if someone has the social well-being, the person is able to appropriately respond to the situation concerned. This is the picture given by Castley Killam, who has studied the social health and social wellness. And she presents that when we talk about physical health, we think of our body and what is the goal? Presence of physical strength and absence of disease. And what we need to do, we need to do exercise, we need to sleep well, we have to eat very good food, or we need to eat healthy food. So that is the focus. When we talk about the mental health, the focus is mind, and we enjoy the emotional well-being and absence of distress. And what are the things that we have to do to maintain that? Meditation or any kind of counseling will be able to offer some help for mental health. And for social health or for social well-being or social wellness, the focus is relationship. It's very simple. The focus is relationship, the presence of connection, how we get connected with people, how we maintain that relationship, and how we interact with people, how do we maintain that relationship, and absence of loneliness. So I'm not left in isolation. I'm not left in solitude, or I'm not just not thrown away from the mainstream, or I'm not just left alone in a corner. So I'm not feeling lonely. This absence of loneliness. So what can I do to maintain that social wellness or social well-being or the social health? Connection, connecting with people and volunteering, taking effort to be with people, to help people. Even though I'm not paid a penny, I still volunteer and offer my help. I may offer some help. I may offer my time. I may offer my resources to help the society. That's how we'll be able to maintain the social well-being or social health. So social health can be defined as our ability to interact and form meaningful relationship with others. You're able to interact with people at the same time you're able to maintain the meaningful relationship with others. When we say meaningful relationship, it's not just kind of hi relationship. No, we come across number of people, we just say hi, but we may not have any kind of no meaningful relationship. When you interact with your friends, with your close friends, with your family members, with your colleague, your classmate, that relationship is very meaningful. You may meet somebody during journey. You're going on train, you're going on bus, and you come across some people. You just say hi. Occasionally you meet them. That's not that meaningful. Just say hi to them. That's all. But when you relate with your friends, with your classmates, that becomes more meaningful. So when we say social health, you're able to interact with people, and then that relationship is more meaningful, and you're able to adapt to the social situations whenever there is a need. You're able to sacrifice some of your needs so that you're able to interact with them, you're able to relate with them, and you're able to maintain that relationship. Now, when we talk about social well-being, there are three prominent people: Paul Knox, Corey Keyes, and Linda Waite. Paul Knox talks about the social well-being in terms of geographical perspective. Now, the social wellness of the social health of people in Tamil Nadu is different from Karnataka or from Sri Lanka or from Burma or from Australia or from New Zealand or from US or from England. So because the geography differs, and therefore the social well-being also differs from place to place. Linda talks about social well-being in older population. How older people or the elderly people enjoy their social well-being. The main focus is only on the older people. Only Corey talks about the social wellness or the social health among the general population, and then in connection with mental health. And therefore, I have Corey Lee Keyes. He was an American sociologist who came up with the social health or social wellness concept in 1998. He talks about 5 components of social well-being. In case when we say that somebody is enjoying social well-being, or they have social health, then they have to have these 5 components. First one is acceptance, social actualization, social contribution, social coherence, and social integration. When we say that somebody is having social health or social well-being, they should have all this: social acceptance, social actualization, then contribution, coherence, and integration. So what do we mean by social acceptance? How much we're able to accept other people? Am I able to accept others without judgment, or am I judgmental all the time? When I come across people, when I meet people, am I judgmental, or am I able to relate with them? Am I able to accept others with all their black and white side of them? People may be having their own drawbacks, they may be having their own good side, as well as they also may be having their own bad side, whatever it is. Am I able to accept them without any judgment? The evaluation is different. Judgment is okay, they are like this, branding them and then avoiding them. So social acceptance or social well-being would mean, am I able to accept others without judging them, without passing comments am I able to accept them? And to what degree an individual is welcomed by the social group? Now, when I come across people, when I relate to people, when I get along with people, or when there is a group, when I have to go in, how much am I accepted in the group? Do people avoid me? If people avoid me, what is the cause for that? If people do not want me to include in their circle, now why it happens? Now, does it happen all the time here in the same group, or does it happen everywhere? Now, wherever I go to this, I go to this group, I go to C group, I do go to a D group or a E group. Everywhere I'm rejected. Nowhere I'm accepted. So does that really happen? So if that happens, we need to now ask ourselves. And do I have positive attitude towards others? When I approach people, do I have a positive attitude? So when we say social acceptance, how do I accept others? Am I accepted in the group? And when I get along with people, do I have that positive attitude when I relate with them? Social actualization. How much of our potential we are living up to? Now, I can be an inspiration to the society. Do I live up to that? I can be a teacher. Do I live up to that? I can bring some change in the society. I can be a catalyst to bring some change in the society. I see the society suffering. I see these people suffering. I can offer some help. Do I live up to that potency? Or am I making use of all those potencies to help them? Social actualization. At the same time, we also need to recognize the potential and positive development of the society when we interact with them. Am I able to find out this potency in the society? Yeah, they can reach up to this. They'll be able to reach this. I go to a particular community. I go to a particular place or a particular group. Am I able to find some potency in them to reach some place of honor in their life? Or do I just close my eyes and say, okay, no, these people are like this? Do I just brand them, or do I just ignore the potencies they have? If I'm socially well, if I have the social wellness or the social health, I'm able to open my eyes and see the potencies in them to reach the actualization. Social contribution. How much do I give back to the community? Now, all that we have is receive from the community, receive from the society. Now, we cannot live in isolation. Now, we were educated by some teachers. We were taken care of by our parents, our neighbors, or the primary caregivers. The doctors have helped us. Number of people around, they have helped us. So the society has formed me. The society has contributed for me. So do I back to the society? Do I give something back to the society, or am I closed and then am I just remaining within myself and I'm thinking about only myself? So do I really contribute to the society? When we say contribution to the society, are we able to make some kind of positive impact on the society that we are living in or the community? Now, we have received from the society, from the community. Are we able to give back to the society, or are we able to make some kind of impact on them? Do we remain as a role model? Probably, as teachers are able to remain as role models, or as pastors are able to remain as role models, or as prominent people in the society, are we able to remain as role models? Are we able to offer some inspiration to people? So, social contribution would mean we are able to make some kind of impact on the people towards something good. And the contributions, are they valued by the society? Now, I can contribute a number of things to the society which may not be needed by the society, or which the society may not want. I can also offer something which is needed, which is very much needed by the society, and there is a want. And do I offer that want? Do I offer that particular thing so that it is valued? I can contribute a lot to the society. but sometimes that society may not need that at all. For example, let's say somebody is selling marijuana. Yeah, I'm contributing to the society. Somebody would say, okay, I'm contributing to the society. But that's not needed for the society. The marijuana is not needed for the society. So my contribution, is it valued by the society? And my presence, the very presence, is it welcomed by the society? Is it valuable to the society? Does the society really appreciate my presence? That is the social contribution. Social coherence, our ability to understand the society and remain in harmony with our communities. I'm not doing anything eccentric so that I'm isolated. Social coherence would mean I'm not doing anything eccentric so that I'm avoided or I'm isolated by the society. There's a social coherence. The norms, the values. I share the common norms. I share the values of the society, the belief system, and I'm able to trust also the other person. So that's what we mean by social coherence. When I'm in a particular community, am I able to adapt to the values and the norms of the society? Am I able to, share the common values and norms, or do I have some kind of eccentric ideas, eccentric values, eccentric norms, and I force myself to be isolated by the society? Social integration, how much we're able to include those people who are different than us. I speak a language and somebody else speaks another language. Do I have the ability, or do I have the openness, or do I have the broad mind to include them in my community or in my circle? That's a very big question mark very often when we talk about social integration. He speaks my language and therefore I can include him. He belongs to my culture and therefore I want to include him. Very often we just leave out those people who are different than us. They are different because the culture is different, or the language is different, the religion is different, or the very culture is different, or they are from different geographical background. So am I having that ability to include, to embrace the humanity? Am I able to build up and maintain that supportive relationship with others? In social integration, what we have to focus mainly is, am I able to build up and then maintain the relationship? And it is about having close family friends, or friends in the family, and I feel that I'm supported, I'm valued by people, I'm loved by people, I'm appreciated by people, I'm wanted by people. There is a need for me in the society. People need me, people need my presence. That is the social integration, a sense of belonging. I belong to this community. I'm not a man from Mars. I'm not a man from Moon. I belong to this community. I belong to this particular place. So how much we feel part of the community, part of the family, part of the place where we work, a sense of belonging to the community. So that is the social integration. So when we say a person is socially healthy, or the person enjoys social, so they have to embrace all these components like acceptance, actualization, contribution, coherence, and integration. This is according to Cody Lee Keys. So acceptance would mean I accept others and I'm also accepted by others. I accept others at the same time I'm also accepted by others. Actualization, I live up to the potentials. Contribution, I give back something to the society and that is valued by the society. I create some kind of positive impact in the society. My presence is very much needed in the society and that is appreciated in the society. And coherence, I understand what is going on in the society. And I also share the norms, the belief system, the values that are prevalent, that are present in the society. And finally, social integration, a sense of belonging. I belong to the community. So when a person is able to fulfill all this, then we say the person is really socially healthy and they are able to enjoy the social wellness and social well-being. So to finally conclude, our relationships determine both how well we live and how long we live. So the quality of life and the longevity, both that depends upon our interconnectedness, our interdependence. Actually, we cannot be dependent and we cannot be independent. Both are sickness. I cannot say I can be independent. I cannot say I can be only dependent. There's interdependence, interrelatedness. So the quality of life, the same time, the longevity, the lifespan, that depends solely upon the relationship that we have around people. So having said that, now what are the benefits of social well-being? We just move on to the benefits of social well-being. When we say social well-being, we need to accept people. We have to be accepted. We contribute. We create some kind of positive impact, and we are able to embrace people even though they are different from us. And we share the norms, the values of the society. Number of things are comprised in there. Now, when we have that social well-being, when we do all these things, so what is the outcome? What I would get from that? When I enjoy that social health or social wellness, what I would get out of that? Number of people have studied and they have listed out number of benefits of social well-being. As food is important, as water is important, recently they have come to the understanding that the wellness also is important. The social wellness, the social health, or the social well-being is also important, without which we cannot enjoy physical health, without which we cannot enjoy this emotional health, without which we cannot enjoy the spiritual wellness. As food and water is important, this is also important, but it's very much underappreciated. The social well-being or social health is very much underappreciated, and then now people have become more and more aware of this, that we need to be socially well, to be physically well, to be emotionally well, and to be spiritually well also. From social well-being, what I get is the increased self-esteem. Now, we do a presentation, you sing, you dance, or you do some presentation, you do some research, you feel happy about it, fine. The other people also, they feel happy about it, they appreciate it, they value it, they want it, they say there is a need for this in the society. That increases my esteem. I do the presentation, I do my research, or I contribute something, I feel happy about it. That increases my self-esteem. At the same time, when it is appreciated by somebody else, by the society, that helps me to increase my self-esteem. I'm valued, I'm cared for, I'm respected. I'm given respect. So the very basic thing that we get from the social well-being is the self-esteem. This social well-being also reduces depression and anxiety. Imagine that you have to sort out everything by yourself. You're caught up in a particular situation, a critical situation, and then you have to do the thinking by yourself all the time. We get anxious, we become depressed because you have to solve everything. You have to find out the ways and means to solve the issues. But when we have the connectedness, when we have the close friends, when we have that family support, when we have that support from the friends, the depression and anxiety is getting reduced because the friend or the family members or the colleagues around us, they're able to help us to think outside the box. Because when we are into the critical situation, when we are into the particular problem, we are going in a rut. We just go back and forth like that. We are just going in a rut. We are not able to think outside the box. But when we share that issue, that problem with somebody else, the person is able to give some kind of insight from which we'll be able to go beyond, to help us to reduce the depression as well as anxiety. And social well-being also is giving us a sense of belonging, at the same time a sense of security. I'm not alone. There's somebody to support me. I can lean on someone. There is somebody to support me, to help me to move on in my life. It could be a financial crisis that I may come across, or it could be some kind of emotional issues that I may come across. When I have somebody with me, they are able to help me so that I'm able to feel secure, that I'm able to move on in my life. So this is the very basic thing that we can get out of the social well-being. So when we go through difficult times, when we have our friends, they're able to give some kind of consolation, especially when we go through some kind of loss. It could be financial issues, or it could be death of someone. When we go through some difficult times, when we have that social support, when we have that social bond with people, they're able to help us, and we're able to move, so sail smoothly, in our life. And when we get along with people, when you're able to interact with people, we are able to develop the life skills. Because in isolation, in solitude, I cannot develop the social skills. I cannot say I'm very good in communication. How can I prove that? How can I say that I'm very good in communication? If only I get along with people, I communicate with people, I move with people, I talk to people, then I can say, yes, yeah, I have the social, I have the ability to communicate well with the society, well with people. So in isolation, I cannot be just sitting in the room. I cannot say, yeah, I'm able to develop my social skills. I can very well communicate. No, that's not possible. Because I talk to you and I understand what you go through. I'm able to share my empathy. I'm able to relate with you. I'm able to get into your shoes, and I'm able to reflect your emotions, and then I'm able to respond to you. That cannot happen in isolation. That cannot happen in solitude. Probably you must have come across the kids when they are at home, they find very difficult to pronounce few words, and they're not able to create proper sentences. So they say, Mom, look at there. They're not able to create a particular sentence. Mom, look, cow, sheep, dog. They're just connecting some words. But when they go to the school, they see other kids, they see the teacher, they're able to interact with them, and then slowly they're able to pick up the language. You'll be able to see a very drastic change in their in their speech pattern when you observe the kids. When they are at home, the speech pattern is different, but when they go to the school, they're able to develop that. Automatically, it gets developed because they're interacting with people. The social skills are developed if only we relate with people, we are able to get along with people. Likewise, the conversational skills also. And very much we can get from the social well-being. What we can get from the social well-being is the improved resilience. Improved resilience. So we are able to bounce back from adversity. I lost my job, I lost everything, and then I'm depressed. When I have a social group, when I have the friends, when I have my close friends, they're able to help me to get back to the track. If I'm just left alone, I get into depression, I get into anxiety, and then finally depression will become clinical depression, and the person has to depend on the drugs, the sense the tablets. So the improved resilience I'm able to get because of the social well-being. I'm able to get connected with people. My close friends are there with whom I can share my difficulties, and therefore they're able to support me, and therefore I'm able to bounce back from adversity, and I'm able to be on track, right on time. Now, by getting along with people, I'm able to maintain the boundaries. I can tell them, yeah, this is your boundary. You can come up to here. This is okay. You can come up to here. I'm able to maintain the boundary so that I'm able to safeguard myself. In case if I don't get along with people, if I'm just remaining all alone by myself, and then after some time I'm just thrown into the society, I don't know how to set the boundaries. I come across people, I meet people in the shop, I meet people in the college, I meet people in the church, I meet people when I go in train and I go in bus, I meet people. I'm able to set boundaries, and I am able to say, this is where you have to stop. And this is my place, and I have to be free here. I need to enjoy here, so you don't come into my boundary. I'm able to safeguard myself. That inspiration we get from the social well-being. And improved physical health. Okay, we'll talk more about it, about the longevity and then physical health little later. Now, when we are thrown into solitude, when we are thrown into isolation, it is a kind of stress. So, if a person is under stress and when they constantly produce the cortisol, that is going to cause some kind of chronic disease in the body. Because I'm in isolation and I have to think by myself. I have to resolve issues by myself. I have to take care of everything by myself. There is no any social support. There is nobody to console me, to care for me, to love me, to offer love, to appreciate me. When I'm sick, there is nobody to take care of me or to care for me. There is nobody with whom I can share the difficulties that I go through. So when I'm in isolation, I go through stress because of which I produce more of cortisol, and that will lead me into chronic disease. Whereas when I have the social connection, social well-being, I can be free from chronic disease. According to Dr. Don Hubbard, socializing strengthens our heart by lowering blood pressure. Sometimes the friendship also can cause blood pressure. I will I will share about that a little later. Your friendship also can cause blood pressure, but it all depends upon what kind of friends you are choosing. So socializing, getting along with people, relating to people, and getting connected with people strengthens your heart by lowering the blood pressure, and that also will reduce the inflammation. Again, stress. I'm in isolation. I go through stress. Because of stress, my body produces more of cortisol, and that causes inflammation because that weakens my immune system. Whereas when I'm in connection with people, when I get along with people, when I have that bond with people, I don't have that the production of cortisol, and therefore I'm able to enjoy good health. I'm able to have a good immune system, and therefore I'll be able to recover from any kind of illness very fast. Better emotional regulation skills also can be attained by social well-being, because we're able to interact with people, we are able to relate with people, and I know how to express my emotion. Imagine I'm sitting in front of the computer all the time and I'm just dealing with the computer all the time. The computer is not going to react. What I feed is just going to give back, that's all. The machine is not going to react. Whereas when I relate with people, they respond, they also react. So I know how to manage my emotion, and I know how to communicate. So the emotional regulation skills also can be learned through social well-being. And some researchers also say that strong gene expression for immunity can be seen in people those who have very good social well-being. And because we are relating with people, our neural pathways are strengthened, according to Don Hubbard. When we are constantly interacting with people, our neural pathways are strengthened, and therefore we are free from dementia. It slows down cognitive decline. Now, when I'm put in a room all the time and I'm not able to interact with people, there is no neural pathways. There's no proper connection of neural pathways. Whereas when I interact with people, when I relate to them, when I offer love, when I receive love, when I contribute something to people, I volunteer to do something to the society, and I'm appreciated, I appreciate. There's a lot of interaction which helps my neural pathways to become more active, and therefore the cognitive decline is very slow. So which means we will not be having much of dementia. If people are put in a particular place, if they are just shut up in a room, there is more likelihood for them to get into dementia very fast. When you go to the countryside, probably you must have seen people having their tea and then talking to their friends, some elderly people. Just to take one tea, it takes about only 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes or so maximum. You want to really enjoy it, you want to really enjoy the flavor of it, the taste of it. It's just going to take only 5 to 10 minutes. But you would see them sitting there for long hours. probably some 45 minutes or even 1 hour also. They sit down, they have some chit chat. So those people will not be having dementia because they're able to, vent out their feeling. They're able to relate with them. They're able to share their joys and sorrows, and therefore they're able to have better memory, and processing speed is really good, and they also have the verbal fluency. This is a recent study. When older people, when they are, I don't mean to say that they have to sit on the bench and they should have only tea, only then they will have the verbal fluency or their memory will be good. Any kind of interaction, maybe they're playing shuttlecock or they're going for a walk or they're doing some kind of job together, they are in a club, anything, any kind of interaction. So when they and they have the processing speed to resolve some issues. At the same time, they also have the verbal fluency. And social well-being also offers greater life satisfaction. Many individuals who have volunteered themselves for any kind of work, they have shared that they have greater satisfaction because they're able to offer something to the society. They got something from the society and now they are give back to the society, and that gives them satisfaction. And emotional resilience also is enhanced when we enjoy very good social well-being, especially when we go through loss. In each culture, in each religion also, we have some kind of formalities to be done or to the loss of someone. Somebody is dead, the relatives do not leave immediately. Somebody is dead today, they have the ceremonies, everything is fulfilled, and the relatives do not leave immediately after that. They wait for 3 days in some cultures. In some cultures, they wait for 7 days or 8 days or 16 days or 30 days. The relatives will be with them because they they have come across the laws, and when everybody leaves, the person is going to go through some kind of emptiness. But when they have the relatives with them, when they have their friends with them, they are constantly offering some kind of consolation. And this person who has experienced loss, when they share, this is what happened, and I'm going through this kind of pain, and this should not have happened. So when they share their difficulties with them, that slowly slows down, or that slowly takes away their pain. Of course, not immediately, slowly it takes away their pain. So this kind of emotional resilience is enhanced by social well-being, by connectedness, by the bond, having good friends or reliable friends. The emotional resilience can be enhanced. According to Dr. Patrick Kingset, when we connect with people, we are able to produce more of antibodies, which will help the immune system to fight disease. So when we say social well-being, it is very closely connected with the physical health also. The physical wellness also depends upon the social well-being. By social well-being, I have good friends, that's fine. I go to club and I have some sports or I have some games. I get along with people. I have some time to enjoy. That's fine. But apart from that, this connectedness is also helping me to create antibodies in the body, which will help the immune system to fight against disease. Something very, very, unusual. We have not heard of this, and then now slowly people are trying to study how this social well-being, the social health affects our physical health also. And because of social well-being, we are able to make healthier choices. Now just imagine a person A is there and B is getting along with him. After some time, they become friends, and then A is smoking. A also will influence B, and B also will begin to smoke. This happens automatically. Or A is drinking, he will influence him to drink also. Or he is having some kind of behavior, unwanted or unbecoming behavior, he will influence him also to get into that behavior. On the contrary, if the social well-being, if the friend is a healthy friend, whatever good things he has that will influence, is going for a walk, will say, why don't you come for a walk? I go for a walk every day in the morning. Why don't you come for a walk? Okay, just for half an hour. Yeah, probably A will be influencing B, and therefore B also begins to go for a walk. So they're able to make healthier choices. Saying, I go for more of veggies. I'm above 40 now, and therefore I want to avoid all this fatty items, all this junk food. I want to go for only this, and I feel really healthy. You can also try that. So A influences B, and therefore B also goes for a healthier choice. So the social well-being increases likelihood of making healthier choices. It all depends upon once again, what kind of what kind of friends we choose in our life. It's very, very important. In case if you don't have that social wellness or social health, what are the impact that we may come across? The studies and the research shows that we may suffer heart attack in case if you're not relating with people, if you are living in isolation all the time, we have to do everything by ourselves. All the burden is on us. We don't share anything with other people. We just take everything by ourselves. There is a possibility for high blood pressure, for heart attack, and raised stress hormone. And this loneliness or isolation can also lead into cancer. And we also may suffer poor mental health, feeling lonely, feeling not appreciated, feeling not loved, feeling alone. And we also may experience anxiety and depression, which will finally lead into poor immune system because I go through stress all the time. My body is producing more of cortisol that will eat up all my immune system, and therefore I have poor immune system, which because of which I become easily susceptible to any kind of sickness. I just go by train or go by bus or I go for shopping and I catch cold very easily. Even though I eat healthy food, even though I enjoy good food, but still I become weak. It's because of the poor immune system, and finally that falls back to the poor social health. Because there is no sense of belonging, because I'm not loved, because I don't love, people may develop antisocial behaviors. There is no social well-being, and naturally that will lead into antisocial behavior, breaking things, going against the community, going against the society, doing things which will be harmful to the society. Knowingly the person does that because there is no any kind of connectedness, there is no any kind of bond with the society. And one also may experience suicidal tendency and ideation also because the person is left alone, no connection with people, not able to enjoy, not able to relate with people. There is nobody to share the difficulties. There is nobody to support. There is nobody to listen to my story. So naturally that will lead to the suicidal tendency and suicidal ideation. Recently, research was conducted. 42 married people were brought to the hospital, and then some laceration were done in their arms. Some kind of cuts were done in the arms, and the machine was fixed. The wound measurement device was fixed to find out whether the curing is faster or not. All those couples who had some kind of strained relationship, for them it took a long time to get healed, the laceration or the cut or the small wound that was purposely made by the researchers that took a long time to get healed. For example, couple A, if they the B, the couples B, they took more than 10 days to get healed because they had some kind of strained relationship. So even in the healing process, the social well-being plays a very, very vital role. So if people are in a strained relationship, it could extend the time it takes for them to recover from surgery or from a major injury. In case if you know somebody who has to go through any kind of surgery, please find out from them whether they have any kind of strained relationship and let them get reconciled and then go for surgery. Any kind of major surgery if they have to go through, just tell them they have to get reconciled with people. They're angry with people. They have some kind of bitterness against someone. They have bitterness against the family members or outside or some kind of misunderstanding with the friends. Okay? Let them get reconciled first and then let them go for the surgery because the recuperation will be faster. It will be fast. There will be faster recuperation in people those who have smooth relationship rather than if they have the strained relationship. So the social well-being plays a very, very vital role in the overall well-being. We cannot again compartmentalize things and then say, this is social well-being, I don't worry about it. Okay, let me just only focus on the physical well-being and the spiritual well-being, or the occupational well-being, or occupational wellness, or the intellectual wellness. I cannot just say that. Everything has to be included. Social well-being plays a very, very vital role in the overall well-being, maybe the physical well-being, or the emotional well-being, or the spiritual well-being. Now comes the very, very crucial part. Now, we say we have to get along with people, we have to be friendly, we have to search for friends, we have to relate with friends, and we have to be friendly, we have to be friendly with the community. We say a number of things, but how to go for the choice of friends? Now, in the population, most of them have come across child abuse. In the population, most of the people, if you ask them, they'll be able to narrate the abuse they came across in their life. It could be a kind of physical abuse. They are beaten up by their parents, or by the primary caregivers, or by the teachers, or by the neighbors, or by their very own parents. By the parents, they are beaten up. Probably the father is a drunkard, and therefore he is beating up the children. The mother is not caring for the children. She doesn't have that emotional maturity, and therefore she thinks the only way to bring some kind of order in the family is to punish the kids, and therefore she's beating them up, and then she's punishing them. So physical abuse, any kind of sexual abuse, people must have come across in their life by their neighbors, or in their own family, some kind of sexual abuse. Emotional abuse, scolding people, scolding, demeaning people, demeaning the kids, or looking at their very figure or the structure, making comments, body shaming, physical neglect, the parents not caring for them. Physical abuse is different from physical neglect, because in physical abuse, the parents are doing something, the primary caregivers are doing something. In physical neglect, they are not doing something which they are supposed to do. They have to care for them, they have to hug them, they have to kiss them, they have to carry them. Those things are not done. Emotional neglect, they have to be appreciated, which is not done. They have to be given love, they have to be offered love, the parents have to receive love. Those things are not done. Emotional neglect. So the vast majority of the population has gone through some kind of abuse in the family or outside. Now, when we grow up, we may say to ourselves, I don't want to choose a partner, I don't want to choose a friend like my dad. Or I may say, I don't want to choose a friend like my tyrant mom. She was very, very hard on me. She was punishing me all the time. She never loved me. She never cared for me. I don't want to choose any friend, or I don't want to choose even a partner who would reflect, or who would be like my mom. Actually, we choose people with positive and negative traits, but the negative traits will dominate. I don't want to choose a person who would resemble my mom. I don't want to choose a friend who would resemble my dad, but I go in search of the person who would resemble my dad, who would resemble my mom. This happens in unconscious. The negative traits will be influencing us very much. My mother is no overprotective. My mother is caring for me all the time. What kind of dress I have to wear, she decides. What color I have to wear, she decides. What food I have to eat, she decides. Even when I have grown up, I'm 10 years old or 15 years old, but my mom decides everything. What kind of shirt I have to wear, what kind of watch I have to wear, and what kind of hairstyle I should have. Everything is decided by my mom. So there is no any psychic space given by my mother. So I say to myself, I will not choose a person, I will not choose a friend, I will not choose a partner who will resemble my mom, but exactly I will choose the same person who resembles my mom. I don't want to choose a friend who will be resembling my dad because he never cared for me, but I will be choosing somebody who is exactly resembling my dad. Why? Because the negative traits will be dominating. Now, what we have is the logical, orderly new brain. During our childhood, we have the old brain. As we grow up, we know things, we come across things, and then we're able to read, we are able to listen to people, we're able to get some knowledge. We get the logical and orderly new brain. But that is not going to be active when we are choosing friends, when we are choosing the partners. Rather, the old brain that is going to be active because it is happening in unconscious. Because the unconscious want to recreate the condition that happened in the past so that it can get corrected. When I was growing up, my mother was no treating me like this. My father was treating me like this. I could not react to them. I could not respond to them, and I could not push that particular behavior away. So I recreate that now, and therefore I choose a partner who resembles my mom or who resembles my dad. I recreate that so that I can overcome it. The unconscious choose who would resemble my mom, my tyrant mother, so that I can recreate that condition, the past condition, to correct them, to overcome it. Actually, all of us received care, concern, love from our parents. We received enough of love, we received enough of touch and concern to survive. So we received them from our parents to survive. But we did not receive enough of touch, and we did not receive enough of emotional support to feel satisfied. My mother was caring for me. My mother was touching me. Mother was kissing me. She was appreciating. It was enough for me to sustain, to survive. That's all. I never felt satisfied because no, she was busy with number of things. She was going for work, and then she was busy with club. She was busy with friends, and she never cared for me. So she gave me some love that was helping me to sustain, but I never felt satisfied. So I go in search of that particular friend who will be resembling my mom or my dad. I recreate that condition so that I can overcome that or I can correct that condition. So my brain returns to original frustration to resolve my unfinished business. That's why we have to be very careful when we are choosing our partners and our friends. We need to take some time to be with them, to interact with them. We cannot just say, oh, he is my best friend and she's my best friend. We need to take some time to be with them, to understand them, and we need to interact with them. Otherwise, we will end up in having a friend who is not helpful, who is not helping us to grow. So healing has to be taken place before we choose a friend, or before we want to get along with a group of people, or before we choose a friend, or before we choose a partner. The healing has to take place. For those of us who have suffered this kind of abuse, the physical abuse or the verbal abuse or emotional abuse or emotional neglect or physical neglect, when we feel that no, we have gone through that, we have to get healed, and then we have to go for the friends, the right friends. Now, what are the things that we can do to enhance our social well-being? First, pay attention to the existing relationship. Very often we neglect it, we don't care for it. The friends that we have right now, sometimes we say, oh, he's my friend, she's my friend, and therefore we don't care for them, we don't interact with them, we don't relate with them. Occasionally or very rarely we relate with them. We don't value that. So to increase the emotional, or to enhance the emotional well-being, or the social well-being, social health, first of all, invest time in existing relationship. Okay, call them, talk to them over the phone, relate with them, be with them, and get along with them. Go for a walk. Take them to the park. Relate with them. Just talk to them. Get along with them. Have some good time with them. That's very, very important. Maintain healthy boundary. To have a healthy, or to have the social well-being, you should maintain the healthy boundary. Now, what do we mean by a healthy boundary? In body language, we talk about proxemics. Proxemics is how do we use the space. Edward T. Hall in 1960 came up with proxemics. He says that we all of us carry the airspace around us. My airspace is up to this. My airspace is up to this. For somebody else, the airspace will be like this, up to here. For some people, the airspace could be like this. It differs from people to people. For lion, the airspace is 50 kilometers. The surrounding is 50 kilometers. The same lion, when you put them in the cage or when you put them in the park, the national park, the circle or the airspace will be shrinking. It will be only 2 kilometers. When the lion is in the forest, it is 50 kilometers. So when an intruder comes in, it can very well sense and then it can just fight back. Whereas when the lion comes into the park, the national park, the airspace becomes very small and it is only 2 kilometers. It begins to shrink. As animals have the airspace, we also have the airspace. We also have the zones. We have the public zone, social, personal, and intimate zone. Probably you may be aware of this. Now, the problem comes when people do not become aware of the zones and simply let them into the intimate zone. Just look at this picture. Now, two people are interacting. Each one is respecting the airspace of the other person. If the airspace is broken, if the airspace is intruded by a stranger, even the well-known person, naturally there's some kind of reaction. It happens unconsciously. You're not going to decide this is how you have to react. When your airspace is intruded, or when somebody is breaking that airspace, naturally there's some kind of physiological reaction, there's some kind of bodily reaction you will experience, because you have to keep that airspace intact. To maintain healthy boundary, we have to maintain that airspace, and that airspace is like the property of the other person. Imagine you have your two-wheeler, somebody is putting the leg on the two-wheeler. Would you say it's only an inanimate thing, it's only two-wheeler, it's not putting the leg on my shoulder, it's not putting the leg on my body, it's only the two-wheeler? You will not say that. That particular property is also an extension of yourself. Somebody is just picking up your cell phone without your permission, just they grab that and then they want to meddle with it. You will not allow it, because the cell phone is the extension of your body. Or computer, somebody is just pulling the computer from you and then just they want to handle that. You will not just leave it, because it's not simply the property, it's not simply an inanimate thing. It's not simply an inanimate object, it is the extension of yourself. So your body is extended through the properties that we have. So the object is the extension of ourselves. Not only that, we also have the airspace around us that has to be respected. When the zone or the airspace is disorganized, the other person is able to exploit us. For example, now in the first thing, in the first page, in the first picture, right side, you see the airspace is respected and then it is very well maintained. And then the girl becomes aware of the zone, and then first she puts the person in the social zone and then in the personal zone, and then she allows the person into the intimate zone. This is the social zone, and then comes the personal zone and comes the intimate zone. In case if the person allows the other person right away into the intimate zone, the other person can very well exploit the other person. Sometimes when we relate with people, this is what happens. We need to put the person in the social zone and then allow them into the personal zone and then allow them into the intimate zone. In case if we open all the zones, if you keep all the zones wide open, and if you allow the person to come into your intimate zone straight away, the other person can exploit us. That's why sometimes we say, I trusted this person and then he exploited on me, he cheated on me, and he deceived me, he took away my possession, he took away my money. All those things we say is because we just open up all the zones right away. First put them in the social zone, Wait for some time, put them in their personal zone, wait for some time, and then you allow them into intimate zone. Enjoy a broad friendship circle. You must have come across Robin Dunbar. The term Dunbar number is very, very famous. Dunbar number. Dr. Robin Dunbar is an English anthropologist. In 1993, he came up with the Dunbar number. So according to Dunbar, we can have only 5 intimate friends, very close friends, very thick friends, and then 15 best friends, 50 good friends, 150 friends. We cannot go beyond that. So the Dunbar number is 150. If you want to maintain a meaningful relationship, you can relate to only 150 people, that's all. You cannot go beyond that. Because humanly speaking, you don't have the energy, you don't have the time to relate with so many people. If you want to maintain a good relationship, and if you want to maintain the meaningful relationship, you can go up to 50. 500 people, they are acquaintances. You just say hi to them, that's all. Probably you must be in Instagram, you must be having some 1,000 followers, or you have Facebook, you have 1 million followers, or you have YouTube, you have 2 million followers. It's fine. They are only, followers, that's all. But you don't know them personally, or you will not be able to have that personal connection with them. So according to Dunbar, 5 inmost circle of closest relationships like family and best friends who provide the strongest emotional support. Only 5 people will be able to maintain. 15 people are good friends. 50 people, they are close friends. 150 people, you're able to relate with them, you're able to have meaningful connections. If you go beyond that, okay, it is really difficult to maintain a meaningful relationship. When we say 150, it's not the rigid number. He doesn't mean to say that you should have 150 people. It could be like 70, or it could be 60, or it could be 80, or it could be 100, or it could be 160. Yeah, you have so much of energy, you have so much of time, and therefore you're able to relate with people. You know them personally. You are able to have a fulfilling relationship with them. That's fine. Okay, but the right number is 150 according to Dunbar's number. Dunbar also would say, if they share some pillars, the relationship becomes very, very strong. Like having the same language, and they are growing up in the same location, and they have the same education background, and the hobbies are the same, and they share the same worldview, the the moral views or the religious views, or sense of humor and musical taste. If they have same, if they share same number of pillars, they'll be able to, let's say, they'll be able to enjoy a very good relationship. If they have, let's say, A and B, they share 4 pillars. Okay, they share 4 pillars of this. They'll be able to have very good friendship. C and D, they are able to share 5 pillars of this kind. They'll be able to have very good. They'll be able to maintain very good friendship, or they'll be able to maintain very good relationship. Number 4, give time for unmasking. To have social well-being, to have social wellness, when you relate with people, when you interact with people, give them time for unmasking themselves. Because when we interact, we simply do not open up our true self. We have a good self when we get along with people, when we interact with people. Well, in the course of time, we are able to unmask ourselves. Or sometimes it can happen unconsciously also. So give time for unmasking. Don't say, I just believe this person, and then he cheated on me, deceived me. Probably that is a premature trust we have on someone else. It's a premature trust that we have thought, that we have invested on the other person. So give time for people to unmask. So I know the person for 5 days or 10 days or 15 days, and he's my intimate friend, he's my close friend. No, I cannot just simply accept that. I need to give some time so that they are able to unmask themselves. To enhance your social well-being, share your affects with the other person who's trustworthy. You cannot share everything with everyone, so you'll be having some handful of friends. Share your affect, your emotions, your feelings with somebody who will be able to help you, so that you'll be able to have you know the social wellness. Be aware of complex equivalence. What is the complex equivalence? When you get along with people, when you're interacting with people, when you're beginning to get some friends, be aware of this complex sequence statements. You say, I love vanilla ice cream, and the other person also says, hey, I love vanilla ice cream. I love Taj Mahal. Yeah, I also like, I love Taj Mahal. I like pizza. I also like pizza. I enjoy black forest cake, and the other person also says. And then you cannot say, yeah, he has the same liking, he has the same passion on the four. Yeah, he can be my best friend, or he loves me, or he likes me. We cannot come to that conclusion. Yeah, he may like pizza, I also may like pizza. It doesn't mean that now I have to love him, or he has to love me, or she has to love me. Sometimes people do not become aware of the complex sequence statements. Yeah, I like this, and then he also like, and therefore, yeah, we love. Like he loves me, and I also can love. No. So friendship should not come up from this. So we need to give some time. We need to know their likes and dislikes, and then the friendship has to evolve. Balance your alone and social time. So you need some time for yourself. At the same time, you also need to spend some time with the society, spend time with the friends. Okay. Okay. Somebody's microphone is on. Somebody's microphone is on. Okay. So the alone time and the social time, balance your alone time and the social time. Cultivate empathy and kindness, because we talk about the social contribution. You have to give something to the society, to people. You have to create some kind of impact in the society. You have to give back. So cultivate empathy and kindness. Volunteer to do some job, to do some service in the society. You may not be paid for it, but when you volunteer yourself, and then when you're doing some service, that is going to in turn increase or enhance your social well-being. Because the research shows that volunteers, especially those who are above 60, when they go out, when they volunteer themselves, when they do some kind of job, and they will have better physical health as well as less depression or anxiety than the non-volunteers. Because the non-volunteers, they sit in the room all the time by themselves, and they watch TV, or they are meddling with the cell phone. They are not offering anything. But when the volunteers, when they go out, when they relate with people, when they are able to offer something, the depression is less. At the same time, they also enjoy physical health. Limit your screen time to grow in social well-being. Limit your screen time. Go for real-time connection. Of course, when people are away, when they are living somewhere there in Kanyakumari, or they are in Kerala, or they are in Hyderabad, we cannot be relating to them, or we cannot be talking to them in person. Of course, we need to use the screen, but go for more of real time, real life connections, face to face connections, because that's where you're going to see what the person is going through, the emotions the person goes through, and their body language. You're going to observe everything, and you'll be able to offer love, you'll be able to offer empathy, and you'll be able to offer whatever help they need. So limit your screen time. Practice active listening. That's very, very important. Practice active listening. So listen to them, listen to them from their perspective, listen to them from their point of view. We have different kinds of listening, like fake listening, partial listening, selective listening. Fake listening, I just nod the head, but my thinking is somewhere else. I just think of something else. But the real listening is the total listening, getting into the shoes of the other person and then listen. We understand the person from their point of view, not from our point of view, or we don't just you know just listen what we want to listen. Total listening would mean getting into the shoes of the other person. Boost up your self-esteem. If you have to relate with people, you have to get along with people. You have to connect with people. Boost up your self-esteem, and in turn, when you have the social well-being, that will boost up your self-esteem both ways. You boost up your self-esteem, you'll be able to relate with people well, and when you relate with people, in turn, that will be boosting up your self-esteem. And finally, if the relationship or the friendship, whatever it is, if it does not disturb your normal functioning, it is okay to go ahead with it. Once again, I reiterate, if the relationship, the new relationship that we come across, or the friends that we come across, if they do not our normal functioning, it is okay to go ahead with it. If the normal functioning is disturbed, we have to ask ourselves, can I go ahead with this friendship? Can I go ahead with this bond? Can I go ahead with this particular community? Can I go ahead with this particular community or the society with the friends? We need to ask ourselves, and we have to mend our way. Thank you, and I wish you all the very best in your relationship. And I hope you already have the social well-being, and you'll be able to enhance that in the course of time.
Thank you, Father. Thank you so much.
Dear friends, in case you want to clarify something
Thank you,
with Father,
Father.
please do it.
Thank
Some
you,
of you
thank you,
want to
everybody.
clarify with Father, please do it.
Rajani has raised
Father,
her
I have
hand.
some doubt.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, please go ahead.
Father, you said that we need to make social connections and interact with people and engage in social activities. But what about the person who is introvert? They feel uncomfortable in social situation and they like to be alone in their comfort zone. That is their comfort zone. So what about the introvert type of people? Or
Introverts may be having less number of connections, or they'll be having less number of friends. It doesn't mean they are living in solitude. So, introverts, they are not going to live in solitude. They'll be having less connections. They have to take an effort to get connected to people. They have to take effort to, mingle with people, to relate to people. In the beginning, it may be a little uncomfortable, but in the course of time, they're going to enjoy. Doesn't mean, as I said, the Dunbar number is 150. I don't mean to say that they have to have 50 members, or they should have 75 members. Right now, they have only 3 members, they have only 2 members, or they have only 5 members. They must learn to extend it. They must learn to, broaden that friend circle, like from 5 to 10, 15. Because when we have more connections with people, we are able to get more social support and emotional support from other people. And not only that, it is creating the antibodies in the body, which will help the immune system. So physically, we are able to get some benefits by relating to people, by having connection with people, by having some bond.
okay, Father, thank you.
Father, when talking about social coherence, uh, you said we have to understand the society and remain in harmony.
Yeah.
Generally, the revolutionists, for example, Jesus or Aristotle, or even Ramaswamy Periyar, they all disagreed with the society. They were not in harmony with the society. Even Buddha. And how about this thought?
Okay.
They are not coherent with the society.
Now, whatever is becoming in the society, the norms, the belief system, or the rules, or the values, whatever is becoming, whatever is helping the society, whatever is helping the humanity, we can go along with it. There will be some norms, there will be some things, or there will be some belief system, or there will be some values which will not be helpful for the society, which will not be helpful for the humanity. There we need to differ. But some people,
Okay, person.
some people,
Yeah.
they go to one extreme, or they become more eccentric, and then they try to negate everything, or they try to object everything, or they try to avoid everything. Because we are living in a society, we cannot just be eccentric, and then we cannot go to one extreme. There are some values, there are some norms which are helpful for the society, that has to be supported.
But at times we have to disagree with the society if we want to go forward.
Okay, so whatever is not helpful, whatever is not becoming, or whatever is not useful for the society, yeah, we need to object.
Okay, thank you for.
On behalf of the Department of Psychology, I take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Father Reverend Father Arul Xavier, for the enlightening and inspiring session on social well-being. We are sure that the ideas you have shared will help us to reflect, connect better with others, and enhance our overall well-being. Thank you once again for generously sharing your time, knowledge, and wisdom with us. Thank you, Father. Thank you,
Thank
participants.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Father. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Father.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Super.